If you're watching this part of the DVD, it's because you've probably been for sale for a while now and you and your agent want to review things and see if you can reposition the home and get things moving. In most cases, the most damage that will have been done so far would be that simply nothing has happened. You've sat on the market for too long. Hopefully, as is the case in most sales situations, a review and a repositioning, a reposturing of your house will get you moving right away. The good news is that apart from missing that initial marketing period that I talked about before, the market is dynamic. There are hopefully new buyers coming on all the time, depending on the market that you're in. So let's look at what has been done so far with the attempted sale and what needs to change. We look at 4 parts to this. The first one is your original objective. Remember that? State it clearly. What did you want to achieve here? When you first started out on this mission to sell, what was there? What was at the base of it all? Number 2 is we do a review of the market that you're selling in. Which is it? And what are the characteristics that go with that particular market? High volume or low? Lots of sales, very few sales. What is the average time it's taking to sell a home at the moment in your market? How has this changed in the last few months? Number 3, we look at the marketing so far. What has happened? Now, let's look at this. There's a list. How long have you been on the market? What ads have been placed? What was the response to those ads? What were the numbers through, both through open days and through the week? What hits have you had on the web? How does that relate to the numbers through your home? What offers and what interest has there been so far? Is there any change you would like to see to the ads on the web or in the paper? Now, the 4th thing we look at is the house and anything that needs to be done there. We look to the agent for this feedback on the property. What have people been commenting on that we might be able to fix? Some things we can fix, like not enough light in the kitchen because there's trees there. We can remove them if that's appropriate. Make a list of those things and arrange to get them done. Your agent may be able to supply the services of a maintenance person if you don't have the time. Now, worry about the small things here. Cutting the lawns, going to the trouble of painting a small area or putting a bit of carpet down. You know, it's all things that you may have meant to do in the last few years. Just change the energy of the home by doing some of these little things. Number 5 is the price, or what I believe it will come down to, the gap. Surprise, surprise. We need to review what has happened so far and what is happening to prices in your market right now. And here's a list of what to go through to figure out for yourself what needs to happen here. Look at the original comparisons again. What did they say? Did you put the price on that the comparisons dictated, or did you go for something much higher? Let's do another round of comparisons, a new one. Your agent can help you with this. See what's going on right now in the marketplace. You must look at what the market is doing now. In some cases, I'll be talking to people who have had their homes for sale for months. What has happened to the market in terms of, say, the first home buyers? Has there been any change there? Grants come and go. Investors, are they sitting on their hands or are they active in the marketplace right now? Volumes of sales, up or down. The average sales price, is it up, down, static? What is it? The world stage is important here. Interest rates expected. What's happening in Europe? What's happening in America? What new information do we have since you started this campaign? What homes have sold since you came on the market? Get that from the agent. Competition. What houses have been listed since you came on? How do they compare to yours in terms of being competition? Your agent can help you with all of this, but here is where we need to get real. Remember me talking about the emotional issues behind the price? This is where we need to let those go. What is real here? So here's the question. Taking all of the things I've just given you a list of into account, the marketing, the feedback, the new information we have now, what is the estimated value of your home? And what is the current gap? What have you currently got it on for? How does that compare with that 3.2, 3.4 or so % that we discussed in this DVD earlier on? Now, there are a number of reality shows at the moment that have people doing copious amounts of work on their homes in an effort to get buyers to offer. But this is not normally the main reasons homes don't get offers or they don't sell. I even watched the other night as somebody redid colours and decor and got hordes of people through, but still it didn't sell. It's because this gap is unforgiving. Do what you want to the house. The buyers still just compare yours with what is sold, and then they make a decision. Number 4 now is so important, and if you're already for sale and have been that way for months, I'm asking you, how does this price relate to your objective? Now what I mean here is this, just out of interest, ask your agents how many houses they've sold in the last 3 months. I guarantee they'll be moving homes. What we know now is that once you decide what the estimated market value is, you need to be as close to that figure as possible. We know that buyers become experts in an area and know what homes are worth. The longer you are on the market, the less strength you have in terms of negotiation, and the chance of 2 buyers coming along and fighting it out over your home are more and more remote. So let me ask you this. Can you afford to move based on the real estimated market value of your home? Without being crass, can you afford to separate based on that figure? Can you afford to build that house? Now here is what I find, that most of us work out the price of our home based on the new venture, whatever it is in store for us. For example, we add up what we owe on an investment and that becomes the price. Or we work out what we need to build this new house and that becomes the price on our current home. We cannot do this. It's like selling a Toyota to buy a Porsche. You can't just put the price on the Toyota to buy you the new Porsche. In the same way, we cannot put the price on the home that we need to clear all of our debt. No one cares you owe more than the house is worth or that you want to build something really special. They just compare yours with others and go from there. So what do you do if it's a financial situation that's getting in the way? And I understand that. In some cases, you already owe $450, you need to get $450 to clear this property. In some cases, you can't afford to separate because you owe $450 between the two of you. You can't drop the price to $410. Here's what to do. You've got to revisit the issue behind the price. Call in a broker, revisit the bank, work out that extra gap in your figures and what that will cost you. Now then, you've got another decision to make. Either you can move on with it or you can't. Change your plans, redesign the house, or as is your right, withdraw from the market. Now I want to finish this by giving you what I call your 3 best options. There are only 3, so let's look at those now. Let's take the example where you're moving to another city for job reasons. The fact is you only have 3 options here. And this is what they are. First one is don't go. Now I'm not being silly here. Cancel the objective and stay in the current house and get off the market. That is an option. Somehow I don't think that's an option that's working for some of you that are watching. The second option is more realistic. Keep the house, rent it, and buy elsewhere or rent elsewhere. Now there's a couple of things you must realize here. If you keep the house and you rent it, the tenants, through all good intentions of the managing agents that are looking after it, they will not look after it as well as you do. And secondly, if you keep this property, you are keeping it at the estimated market value. The rest of the money is gone. In a lot of cases, it was never there in the first place. Now, if you think the price is $540 and the estimated market value is $500, some believe that if I hang on to it, I'm hanging on to it at that higher price. That not an option? Then there's only one other, and that is meet the market. Meet the market and move on with your life. Now, in a lot of cases where I've consulted with sellers, that involves building or moving to another city to start a job, quitting an investment, getting money back in the bank. These are all so important in the scheme of our lives that I need you to figure out here, what will you do with the money you get for the house? What effect is that going to have on you and your family, literally, on your lives? In a lot of cases, sellers are emotionally holding up sales by trying for far too high a price that will see them in a brand new house. Some cases, the price of the new house is going up with inflation faster than the price on the current home. Look to the future and what was your original objective. In some cases, certainly the time of writing this, in some markets, I have to say, by not putting the home on the market right now correctly, you may see the market get worse and prices recede even further over coming months. No guarantees, no crystal balls, but that is a possibility. By overpricing now, you could be looking down the barrel of selling for less later than you could sell for right now. So look at all of this. What are you trying to do? What has happened so far? And what needs to be done to the marketing, the house, and most importantly, to close that gap? Do not fall into the trap that a lot of vendors do where they believe if $500,000 is the price, they have to put $550,000 on the home to get that figure. Buyers will pay value if they see it, and the closer you have the asking price to the market value, the more chance you have of selling in the next few weeks. Make no mistake, this even works for houses that have been on the market already for months and months. I hope as you've been watching this, you have not seen this as just one big beat up on price. Marketing and the way the house is presented does come into it, but the big one is the price. Now, I'm not talking about taking money off you. I'm telling you that money was never there in the first place in most instances. What I'm talking about is saving you losses. By doing this correctly, by getting the estimated market value and keeping that asking price as close to it as you possibly can, I'm giving you hope in getting more money and selling quicker. So, I hope we've given you some ideas to look at in terms of getting on with whatever it is that you want to do. If you have a question on any aspect of selling your home and you think that I can help with it, then send it to me at the website address that's on your screen right now. I would wish you luck, but I hope you can see now that luck has very little to do with it.